My older sister, Clara, is 29 years old and has special needs. While she's in the body of a 29-year-old, she functions mentally at the age of a 2-year-old. Being raised alongside Clara has helped me both grow and improve as a human being. Clara's disability consists of her having a very limited vocabulary of about 75 words. She has some trouble when she walks, and she can't always verbally express what she's trying to say. When you're a young kid, you may not always realize it, but you get a lot of attention from your parents, especially when you're the youngest sibling in a family. And even though I am the youngest sibling in my family, I never quite got that same amount of attention. Now, it's not like I was being neglected or anything, but I did have to learn and adapt to be more independent due to the amount of attention Clara required from my parents. However, I didn't grow cynical or annoyed that Clara needed all this attention. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is how, in fact, Clara's presence in my life helped me grow and improve as a human being. One of the first things I learned from living with Clara was communication. Clara struggles with saying words with more than 2 syllables. She doesn't always tell someone her needs or wants, which can be frustrating. And when she's really happy or excited about something, she'll scream or shriek. And I found from working with her that once you can really well communicate with someone with special needs, you can really communicate with anyone. This has helped me work with shy kids at school or anyone in a group project, just overall listening skills. I first started to notice that Clara was different when I entered preschool. My mom or dad would come to pick me up from school, and Clara would walk, and they'd sometimes bring her along. And Clara would come and walk up to me to give me a hug, and I'd see and hear as my classmates would say things like, "Who is she? Why is she like that? What's wrong with her?" And it confused me, because to me, the answer was simple. That's Clara. She's my sister. That's the way she is. My parents always say, well, Clara's like a big girl on the outside, but she's like a baby on the inside. They thought this was something that both these kids and their parents could comprehend, as we saw the parents would struggle to come up with answers. At this age, I was learning how to stack blocks, recite the alphabet, count to 10. But I noticed that I could do more easily than Clara, which didn't make sense to me. My big sister, 14 years older than me, not to mention my hero, couldn't achieve these simple tasks that my young classmates and I were succeeding at, despite how hard she tried. And I saw how hard she worked in places like Special Olympics or physical therapy. And that's when it kind of started to make sense. I started to realize that my family was different. Clara was different. So at that point, I made a choice. I made a choice to try harder, to put more effort into everything I did, especially there at school. I saw how hard she worked, and I made it my goal to try as hard as my sister Clara. I would not be the nor person that I am today without her. And while she can't directly help me with homework or studying, she's been my inspiration to strive for more in those areas. One of the other effects that's related to school that Clara has had on me, and that I've actually been acting on a lot recently, is political drive. For instance, Clara lives at what's called a group living home, right nearby in Westlake Village. It's about 15 minutes away from where the rest of my family and I live, so we can go visit her and she can come visit us. She also attends what's called a day program in Simi Valley. Clara, well, like you can imagine, most 29-year-olds like Clara don't live at home with their parents, so my family and I were incredibly grateful that she has these programs to be involved in. But we also understand that not everyone is so lucky. Knowing that there are others out there, just like my sister, who don't have these opportunities, as well as seeing how great these programs are for her, it makes me want to strive for more. One of the ways I do this, or I have done this, is in English. The freshman English curriculum contains a lot about social issues, including social issues related to those with mental illnesses and mental disabilities. Last semester, when I was a freshman English student, I was able to offer specific insight when we read books and stories such as Of Mice and Men or To Kill a Mockingbird. I was able to have a class discussion with my classmates about the special needs community in our country, our town, and right there at our very own school, just a few classrooms down. Another platform that I'm able to express myself about this and use both my experience and my beliefs is youth and government. This program that I'm in allows me to use my experience on this topic and talk about it in things like debates or big discussions. And I found that I can really make a change in that platform. The last thing I want to talk to you about today, about an effect that Clara has had on me, is my understanding of happiness. Being happy seems to be this major goal, this thing that we all seem to be striving for in life. But sometimes we don't feel like we can find it. For a lot of my peers, they think being happy will come when they get into an amazing college, which leads to a great job. But what about until then? As a freshman in high school, that's at least 4 years away. Or is life just not supposed to be that great until we achieve this great goal in such a great quantity? Not to say that you wouldn't achieve it, but life isn't perfect and it's not going to work out exactly how you plan it. Clara is once again helping me. She's helping me learn how to be happy even when I don't feel like I can achieve these huge goals. Clara enjoys sitting on our couch at home. There she likes to watch Barney, drink chocolate milk, pet little furry dogs. And when I watch her do any of these things, I see as she calms down, smiles, and even laughs. Especially with that last thing, petting a dog. When I've seen my older sister pet a little dog, I see as she pets this living creature that doesn't look at her and judge her differences, doesn't look at her and judge the fact that maybe she drools or she pets a little bit too hard because she doesn't know any better. When Clara pets a dog, she is happy. Happiness, this thing, this concept that so many people spend their whole lives working towards, I've seen her find it in just a few seconds. And if Clara, someone with severe mental retardation, can find happiness by just living in the moment, I know we all can do it too. I'd like to give one last thank you to my sister Clara, someone who I've seen take so little in this world, but has given me and others so much. Thank you.